Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Winter Solstice edition of ExParrot Plays Magic the Gathering Arena. As soon as I can get this started, I should have already got it started. Apparently, I'm lazy or forgetful or I don't know. I hadn't got it started yet. Tonight, we're going to do a booster draft because that's what I happen to be good at. There is at the time of this recording, the Amazonian booster draft up, which is a special format designed by, I guess, the streamer Amazonian. And it's a format in which you don't need lands. You basically have Omniscience in play at all times, so you can always cast a spell for free. And so it encourages you just to draft the biggest things you can, and you only get a starting hand of 3 cards, and you get like 1 mana of each color every turn to play abilities. But I'm really not thinking I want to do that because it's M19, and I really don't need the M19. I would much rather try and draft Guilds of Ravnica if I can, because there's still some cards I need from Guilds of Ravnica. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We'll do a 5,000 gold draft. Break-even point would be the 750 gems, which will be 6 wins in a best-of-1 matches. So, boom, right off the bat. Fire Mines Research, Capture Spear. I'm not a big fan of Fire Mines Research and draft unless you can draft a lot of instants and sorceries to go with it. Capture Spear is pretty good. Luminous Bonds is good. Parhelion Patrol is not a bad creature at all. So the question really is, which one do I want, blue or white? I'm going to go with Luminous Bonds, I think. Now they're like, oh, maybe you should have gone with black-blue because here's Discovery Dispersal and Deadly Visit. Deadly Visit being one of the best kill spells in the environment right now. I mean, it's 5 mana for sorcery, but destroy any creatures to Veil 2. Status Statue actually isn't bad if you're going Golgari. I'm going to go ahead and take Deadly Visit because removal is key. Oh, wow, look at this. Severed Strands, Dead Weight, Pilfering Imp. Let's go with Dead Weight. It just gets better. Dazzling Light's not bad. Pass Wall of Depth has actually won me a few games in the late game. Spinal Centipede is good. Now I got some choices. Notion Rain, decent card draw. Wishcoin Crab, Gums Up the Ground. Devious Cover-Up. I mean, it's a counterspell, and it's usually unexpected in this environment. I think it's going to be between Wishcoin and Devious. I'm probably going to go with Devious Cover-Up. There's another one that'll come up the ground game. Demir Informant. Muse Drake is okay. I mean, it's a 1/3. But you get to draw a card to replace it. Veiled Shade is a bit of a beating. Demir Locket's not bad either. But I like Veiled Shade. And in my colors, we're looking at Demir Informant. I'm not sure I'm feeling Selective Snare. I mean, who's going to be drafting a theme deck like that? Besides the fact that returning everything to their hand is only good if you're going to win the game right then. Otherwise, all of their Enter the Battlefield abilities just activate again. And yeah. So I'll just draft that. Leapfrog is decent. Vicious Rumors is a card I really want to like, but it's just so bad. It just really is. And Severed Strands Wield. I guess I'll take Dazzling Lights. It's a decent combat trick. Wishcoin Crab Wield. So apparently nobody nearby is picking those colors. We'll go with Vigorous Boreworm. It's easy enough to splash. Okay, I don't need Ionize. Price of Fame is a decent card. Darkblade Agent is decent. We're going to go with the removal because it's key. And I'm going to go out of the way to take Underrealm Lich. I mean, if I play green, it splashes easily. And I need it for standard anyway. Izoni Thousand Eyes is way too much to splash. Dowser of Light's much better choice here. Wow. So Severed Strands, Bartizan Bats, Leapfrog, Demir Guildgate. I mean, Hatchery Spider is a fun card. I'm going to take Mana Fixing this time. I've got a lot of removal. You know, I really like Burglar Rat, but I've been bitten by it playing against a green opponent who promptly dropped Nullhide Ferox on me. So I'm looking at Necrotic Wound. I'd have to have a lot of creatures in the graveyard, which makes it less useful. So Moodmark Painter versus Dimir Informant or Dimir Locket. Moodmark, I think. Again, one of those, I have to have a lot of creatures in the graveyard to make it work. Passwall Adept. I hope that wasn't just a decent creature I passed up there. We're going to go ahead and take the Lotless Giant because it can be nice in the end game. Oh, wow. Dimir Locket. Yeah, Mana Fixing's good. Never Happened versus Barrier of Bones. Probably won't play either of them. I can go to the sideboard. Well, I've got choices now. Spinal Centipede's a better creature, I think, out of the list there. I really don't want to splash green jet to play Undercity Uprising. Wall of Mist is a little bit better for me. Oh, Bat's Wield. Really? Alright. Guess I could have taken the Locket and used it to help splash green a little better. Temple Garden. I actually have 3 Temple Gardens. But how often do you get a chance to draft one of those lands? Oh, Nightvale Predator, so good. Blood Operative, so good. Much as I hate giving up the Blood Operative, Nightvale Predator is simply a better card. At least to me. Capture Spear for a little more control. Watcher in the Mist. Artful Takedown. Oh my god. Watcher in the Mist. I need creatures for certain. I don't want to run too much counter magic. Advanced Surveillance is just meh. Dowser. Probably should have taken Notion Rain, but that's alright. Let's get another Spinal Centipede. Disdainful Stroke was also a decent choice there. Leapfrog. Passwall Adept. Now a few choices. Dimir Locket gives me more mana fixing, but I'm really thinking of the Informant for the Surveil 2, plus a great way to keep the game gummed up. So Child of Night. Ah, there's a Silent Dart I picked too quickly. Never happened. Looks like the one I wanted did not wheel. Vicious Rumors, blah. Alright. Let's go ahead and cut out everything that I'm not going to need. Not big on walls. I don't think this is a deck that wants to sit back and hide behind walls until I'm ready to win. Like it or not, I'll probably drop the Underrealm Lich. I really drafted that for standard more than anything. So I've got choices here. We don't want Never Happened. We definitely don't want Vicious Rumors. Unfortunately did not see any Dimir creatures that trigger off Surveillance, which sucks because they're great. I really don't have a lot of instants of sorceries, but I have enough to make it worthwhile. Oh, this is where it gets difficult, folks, trying to figure out what to cut. 4-mana creature, Nightveil Predator, I think is going to be better. I'm going to drop 1 Dowser of Lights. I mean, it's a nice big creature, but 5 mana for 4/5, to be honest, isn't that great. I don't want to stack things too top-heavy in this deck. Since I didn't end up picking up any Notion Rains, I don't have a way to sort through my lands, smooth out my draws, which, yes, shame on me. I've said before in my videos, I'm a pretty casual drafter most of the time, and it shows. Alright, so I'm going to drop 1 Devious Cover-Up for the moment. I can always bring it back in if I need to. I'm almost feeling like Muse Drake just doesn't do enough. Even though it is flying, it's the whole evasion thing, but I've got better flyers in this deck. Hopefully my surveillance stuff will be good enough to carry the load, help me smooth out my draws some. I really do not wish to cut lands. I want to stay at 17. So I got 4 cards to cut still. I may drop the other Dowser. Again, that may be a mistake. I really would like to play the Moodmark Painter. And I've been beaten by her before. But most of the time when I have her, I just don't seem to get anything good out of her. Really hesitate to drop any low-end creature because I want to have that down there to help deal with aggressive decks. Artisan Bats gets too easily killed by anything that deals like 1 damage to everything. Just drop a Leapfrog. We'll just do this. We'll see what happens with it. Worst comes to worst, I go 0-2, 0-3, whatever it is, and scrub out. It's happened to me before. It'll happen to me again. Happens to everybody. Hey, vault progress 95% according to my tracker. Ooh, nothing on too much on the low end, but enough that I think I'll keep it because this tends to be a little bit slower environment. Horse Tamer 69, my opponent. That's an interesting name. Not quite sure what to make of it. Hat or a brooch or a pterodactyl maybe. And there's a Nightveil Sprite. Son of a gun. And there's a perfect top deck. Nightveil Sprite is such a good card in Limited. Yes, it's only a 1/2 flyer, but the evasion part helps it get over every turn and plink some damage, but that Surveil 1 every time is what really helps it. Now, I would like to draw 1 more land. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 from the Darkblade Agent, hope they don't have Surveil, and drop the Demure Locket since I didn't get a land. Because I want to be able to cast Price of Fame, or if I can draw a land, be able to cast Watcher in the Mist. Notion Rain, there goes the Surveil. Wishcoin Crab can shut down the Darkblade unless they Surveil. Spinal Centipede is even better for that. So they'll get to draw a card, which that's going to hurt. I mean, card advantage is big. But Spinal Centipede with the Dazzling Lights up will be really nice because it'll let me go ahead and trade. Even if they give Surveillance, or they do Surveillance to give it Death Touch, Dazzling Lights will reduce its power to 0. So we're going to go ahead and pass with the Spinal Centipede up. Even if for some reason I lose it, No big deal. +1/+1 counter isn't going to go anywhere. That sucks, but, you know, it happens. If I can get Watcher in the Mist down next turn, that'd be great. We'll see what Horse Tamer wants to do. Wishcoin Crab. Wishcoin Crab's alright. Are they going to try and trade? They are not. Okay. So, Watcher in the Mist comes down to Surveil. Such a good flyer. I actually don't need Lance now. A big mistake I see newer players make is refusing to surveil cards to the graveyard, especially if they're like turn 1 surveil. They've got 2 or 3 lands in hand, and they surveil, say, Carnage Tyrant on the top of their deck. That needs to go to the graveyard. You can't cast it for 3 or 4 turns. It's going to come up your hand. You're not going to draw the cards you need now. Don't be afraid to surveil to the graveyard. I still have a blue up for Dazzling Lights. Burglar Rat. I can drop Wishcoin Crab, no problem. And there's a Price of Fame to deal with the Watcher in the Mist, unfortunately. Playing against Dimir, you're going to expect some removal on their end. And their early card draw is giving them an advantage at this point. They went ahead and surveilled the Spinal Centipede to the graveyard. Wishcoin Crab on its own. Interesting. No blocks. See, I really don't want to cast Severed Strands at this point. Worst comes to worst, I'll Dimir lock it at the end of turn if I have the mana. Draw 2. I really don't want to use Price of Fame when I'm only taking 2 a turn. Partisan Bats. That's a bit of an issue. Veiled Shade is a bit of an issue. Good lord, I have to draw something useful here, game. Alright. Let's go ahead and drop a Leapfrog. Let's go ahead and drop the Pass Wall Adept. Now I can always Dazzling Light something, which will give the Leapfrog flying and use it to block the Bartizan Bats. Hell, in a pinch, I can go ahead and use Dazzling Lights on the Bartizan Bats, which will save the Veiled Shade. Alright, let's go ahead and do Dazzling Lights to the Veiled Shade. I don't want Devious. I'm going to need my mana. So Devious Cover-Up, no good for me right now. That'll give the Leapfrog flying. I'm going to force them to have to use a bunch of mana if they want to be able to kill the Spinal Centipede with the Veiled Shade. At which point I can put the counters over on the Pass Wall Adept, because Leapfrog's going to die. And the Veiled Shade will survive. Oh well. We'll solve that problem by killing it. I know, I put a land on top. I really need more land. Wishcoin can be blocked by the Pass Wall Adept now. I'm still in trouble here. I've got 2 cards to their 3. They've got 3 creatures on board. Burglar Rat's not much of a threat, but I'm still behind. Interesting. I'll go ahead and take the bait. Okay, they didn't have anything. Unless they have, like, oh, Dark Watcher in the Mist, that's fine. I may have to kill the Pass Wall Adept. Severed Transit. Alright. Veiled Shade hits the board. Kill that, because I really can't afford to take it. I'll gain 4 life at least. I've got enough to make the Veiled Shade a 3/3. $18 to $17. And House Guild Mage is bad for me. Good for the Darkblade Ancient. I'm hoping they don't have a combat trick. Good. Good, good, good. And Capture Spear. Which, as much as I hate to do it, Capture Spear needs to go on the Guild Mage, because it'll lock it down and prevent them from being able to surveil every turn or tap my creatures. Way too early to think about decking them. Nightveil Predator would be fantastic. Deadly Visit wouldn't be bad. Outlast Giant wouldn't be bad. I've got answers in my deck, I just gotta draw them with what I've got left. I've gotta be careful about surveilling too much. Still, I'm behind this game. This is, unless I can pull something out, I am going to lose this game. And there's Notion Rain. They dumped the land, drew a card. Well, maybe I can deck them, right? Except they're likely to gain more and more advantage off of this. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take the bait. Because it looks like they have a Surveil card for the Darkblade Ancient. Or were they bluffing? Oh, they surveilled that turn, duh. And there's Dowser of Lights. And I'm going to go ahead and call it. Alright, first lost. First loss. Maybe I'll face somebody who doesn't have a ton of removal. Well, this is an interesting hand. Let's see if it pays off. Golgari. Oh, there's the Guild Gate. That helps. Alright, so, Demir Locket. Dead weight on the Child of Night. No early lifelink for Ecotech. Iron Shell Beetle's going to come down as a 2/2. We're going to go ahead and drop the Informant so we can surveil. What have they got? Informant in the graveyard, leave Veiled Shade on top. And there's a Nullhide Ferox. Lovely. Well, on the plus side, I can drop the Spinal Centipede and the Leapfrog, which will give me enough to block the Nullhide Ferox. Until I can draw a hard kill spell and have the mana to be able to pay the Nullhide Ferox's ability. Okay, looks like they're going to go ahead and remove the... So what are they going to play for 2 mana? It's instant or sorcery, or at least non-creature. Prey upon. Prey upon. Well, not much I can do about that. We will pass turn. Oh, goody. That's a 7/7 now, huh? One, two, three, four, five. See, this is a situation. Gotta find removal, so Lawless Giant goes to the graveyard. Unfortunately, it's not big enough to deal with that thing. That'll shrink it down enough to where at least I can block it for a turn. But it looks like I'm going quickly 0-2. Must be nice to draft a ton of removal. Or at least cheap removal, because I drafted removal, it just wasn't of the cheap variety. I've got a ton of it, I'm just not seeing it. Oh, screw this. Four different ways to deal with that creature, and I don't see a single removal spell the entire time. Kinda ridiculous. So, 0-2 so far. This is actually what happened to me last time I drafted, a week before last. Was just terrible card draws, just terrible everything. I didn't draft last week because of prior engagement with family. So I didn't. Anybody who tuned in did not get to see me play or get salty over things. I got an early pass wall adept, which is nice. I actually have a creature on turn 2. Naughty shield mates, groovy. We'll go ahead and drop that spinal centipede. Could have dropped pass wall adept and double blocked. Yeah, I'm going to need it for this because they're going to go ahead and do that. I fully expect a swing. And no swing. That's really... Let's screw it. Let's go ahead and dead weight it. Let's get in for some damage early. They can double block the spinal centipede if they want, but it's just going to make things better for me. They're going to go ahead and just take it. And if I don't draw anything useful, I can keep Devious Cover Up available. Okay, I'm more than happy to do that then. Yeah, this is me using all of my mana every turn. Like a good Magic player does. No, we're not going to attack with the Veiled Shade. I don't need a double block from the Iron Shell Beetles. Guess I didn't expect that. I don't know why I didn't. I should know better to make stupid plays like that. I really should. I think part of my problem is even after all the times I've drafted it, I still have not quite gotten the hang of drafting Guilds of Ravnica. I did early on, because the bots often gave you a lot of Dimir or um, Boros cards, but now they're not doing that nearly as much. Ugh, Rock Charger. Wish I actually had my mana for Devious Cover Up. Really? That's an interesting choice. Okay, I've got the mana up. Let's see. We're gonna block. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Block. Then before damage, we will pump. So that was a mistake on their part. I think they forgot Dimir Locket has the ability to tap for mana. So we're definitely not going to play anything this turn. We're going to keep the mana up for Devious Cover Up. Try and keep them off a recovery. So if they go for something big that'll help them, I can drop Devious Cover Up and be in good shape. Locket is not the card I'm worried about right now. And I hope they realize that I have enough for lethal next turn. Either that or just giving up. Righteous Blow. No. Ah! I hit the wrong button and actually canceled the spell. Oh, we'll just do it that way then. I wanted to cancel the effect. I didn't want to actually get any cards out of the graveyard because it was just going to be the end of the game anyway. So, wrong button. So, 1 win, 1 and 2. I'm not a complete noob, just mostly. Alright, we'll see who my next opponent is gonna be. It's taking its sweet time. I guess I should just clicked in search, not cancel. Renegade Rabbits. It's got removal as long as I can draw some land, which playing the full 17, it's recommended in a 40. So land draw shouldn't be too bad. Yep, there we go. There's land number 3. That lets me cast most of the cards in my hand. Child Knight early is going to give me that 2-1 lifelink goodness. They may have a Righteous Blow or something in hand. Let's see what they do. Legion Guildmage. There's land number 4 for me. We'll go ahead and drop the Dimir Informant because it'll shut down their offense. You know what? I'm going to keep land number 5 because that lets me get all the way to Deadly Visit. So I'm going to put both cards on top. I'll have a dead weight for the Legion Guildmage next turn, which will be nice. Yeah. So I can go ahead and drop dead weight on the Legion Guildmage because the Guildmages are just good in limited. And then drop Leapfrog. I'm not going to trade a 2-1 for a 1-1. I'm just not. I'll hold back the child. Even though it means not great blocking, I don't see them attacking because the crackback, they could swing for 2, and then I'll crack back for 5. Or I'll slock it, which means they're not doing anything this turn. I think they still have a righteous blow or something similar in hand, because they have to click through the phases. Well, land number 6, or land number 5. Oh, that's right. I put it on top. Duh. Now I think I will go ahead and swing with the child, try and bait out the righteous blow. Or get him to just block with a creature. Either one's good. Worst comes to worst, I can make the leapfrog unblockable just for swinging with it every turn. Okay. They went ahead and took it. That was an interesting choice. They got an Aurelia. Because as they do, I'm going to price fame that. Nope. Parhelion Patrol. Which will die. I'm going to go ahead and cast Deadly Visit on my turn, since it's a sorcery. Because it'll give the leapfrog flying. So my turn. Deadly Visit, Parhelion Patrol. Boom. That'll give me a Surveil 2. Nightveil Predator was a fantastic draw. They're going to go ahead and let it resolve finally. Alright, Spinal Centipede is great. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to bin the Pass Wall Adept. I already have... No, I don't have one, but that's alright. I thought this was a Pass Wall Adept. Because I'm a doofus. This may bait out the Righteous Blow to the Leapfrog, and a block onto the Child of Night. Or they may just go ahead and take it all and go to 8. And there's another Parhelion Patrol. That will get Price of Famed. I can't let him start mentoring lifelink creatures. Take Heart, gain some life. Boom, 14 life. Nice play. I already have one Spinal Centipede. We're going to put the Dimir Guildgate on top, try and get a little more land going. So Take Heart was the 1 mana trick they had. Unfortunately, now I'm out of creature kill in hand, so if they drop something nasty like Swiftblade Vindicator, which thankfully they don't have any mentor right now, but they do have that. That's going to slow down my offense completely. I mean, Nightveil Predator is going to have to come down and try and finish this game before Swiftblade Vindicator finishes me. That does have Trample, which is unfortunate. The only big advantage is Swiftblade Vindicator does not have flying or lifelink. Once I drop Spinal Centipede for the next 2 turns, if they kill them, I'm going to be able to just put the 1/1 counters Nightveil Predator and speed up the clock. Not a bad play. Draw 2 cards. So if I take 6, I'll go to 18. Blocking right now is not really recommended. They're going to go ahead and not attack, which isn't a bad decision, I think. On the other hand, they know with the Nightveil Predator that they're in trouble. Nightveil Predator is just going to have a lot of fun in the air. Do they have a Deafening Clarion? Because that would suck. I mean, it would kill all of their creatures and just leave me with the Informant, but it's still a possibility. The Informant would get bigger by 2. So, what are they gonna do? Candlelight Vigil, making it a 6/5 Vigilance, double strike trample. I can give my opponent a nice for that one. And they're gonna go ahead and swing out, which... I'll block it like that. They're going to gain some life off of this. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I really need a kill spell now. I need Severed Strands or Capture Spear to deal with the Swiftblade Vindicator. Look, if you got a combat trick, just cast it. Thank you. Okay, so I will drop to 15. They will go to 13. They're in slightly better shape now. Oh, my lord. Land is not what I need to draw now when I need some of my, Dazzling Lights, Capture Spear, etc., etc. I don't really want to give them 1/1 lifelink counters. So I'm kind of betting on the whole drawing a kill spell before Swiftblade Vindicator kills me. There's a Watcher in the Mist. I mean, that gives me another blocker. Both of these get binned. Alright, gotta do some math. 12 double strike. I have no way to get through. No attacks. I think I pretty much have to block with everything. Dude, don't do the good game crap when you haven't won yet. That is the surest way to piss off an opponent for no good reason. Yeah, you want to take out the Death Touch first. Oh, good lord. Well, 1 and 3. I suck. Let's go ahead and open the pack, see what's in it. Response Resurgence. Common wild card. Nothing useful. Alright. That didn't take too long. Let's do another. I have the gold. Venerated Loxodon. That's a really nice first pick. I think it's the best card in the pack, to be honest. Oh, Glaive of the Guild Pact is nice. Vigor Spore Worm. I'm going to take the Glaive. Luminous Bonds. It looks like I'm doing Selesnya this time. Caller the Culprit. Hammer Dropper. I could go that way. Iron Shell Beetle. I've taken too many beatings from that to not know how good it is. Prey upon Vernati Shieldmate. I like Vernati Shieldmate. It's not the best creature, but it's not bad. Siege Worm. I like Siege Worm. Wild Ceratok. Probably not as good as the other one, but oh well. Vigor Spore Worm. I like it. Ledev Guardian or Generous Stray. Let's go with Generous Stray. You know, I'm not the kind of person who likes Gateway Plaza. It just sets you back one turn. I'm going to go with Hammer Dropper instead. I can always splash a little bit of black for it. Grappling Sundew should be able to lock down a board. Alright, let's see what we got. We got Luminous Bonds and a Bounty Agent. Immediately, Hitchclaw Recluse. I'm going to go with Luminous Bonds because it's just so good. And we have Conclave Tribunal. Apparently I'm in the right colors this time. Centaur Peacemaker is a better creature and has any right to be. Artelian Patrol or Prey upon. I'm going to go with the Patrol. I hope you just didn't hear my daughter belch loudly. Candlelight Vigil. Let's go with Prey upon over Vigorspore Worm. Loxodon Restorer. Crawl Foragers. Candlelight Vigil again. Why not? Hunted Witness. We'll take some Reach. I don't want to do too many. Up, there's a Guildgate. We'll take a Guildgate. I don't know they'll be playing Urban Utopia. There's a Selesnya Locket. Alright. Blood Operative, Ledev Champion. How many Blood Operatives do I have? 2. I need a 3rd. Yes, I'm rare drafting. Deal with it. Wow. Let's rare draft again. Why not? Conclave Cavalier. Oh, Arboretum. Elemental. Expensive, but if I can get enough creatures down, it becomes a really powerful 7/6 hexproof creature. The Wood Shaper lets me filter, though. Flower Flourish. I don't think it gets any better than that with this pick. There's a Selesnya Guildgate again. An Iron Shell Beetle. Go with Demotion. Iron Shell Beetle again. It's a very annoying card to play against. Vigorspore Worm. That's such a good creature if you can get it down. I really don't see myself actually splashing black. Take the locket anyway, or not black, but red. Take it anyway just in case. Smaller Wood Shaper. Wario Copy, it's more aggressive of a creature. Alright, so Hammer Dropper, Niz-Mizzet, Swath Cutter, Blood Operative, we'll need it. I don't think I need 4 Sumala Wood Shapers. At 4 mana, they're only a 2/1. Which means I can drop the Boros Locket pretty safely. I think I can drop that creature as well. Urban Utopia, from what I've been reading, is bugged right now to not let you use it correctly. And so I'm not real sure I want to run it, just in case that's the case. Get rid of the Grappling Sundew. I have enough reach creatures to make it less useful. I have enough removal that I think I can drop that one and be okay. I'll drop the Wario Copy. We'll drop a Candlelight Vigil as well. I think I'm actually going to drop it down to 1 Sumala Wood Shaper, which is probably bad magic. Wild Ceratok. going back and forth on Hunted Witness. It's a good creature for convoking. It replaces itself when it dies. But I don't want to draw it middle of the game. I think the pack piece can go away. That drops me down to just 2 cards necessary. I'm actually going to drop 1 land to 16 on this one, because a lot of my high-end creatures can be convoked. Excuse me. Screw it. I'm not a big fan of necessarily of the Wood Shaper. Put the Wood Shaper and the Wood Chipper there. Belnara, my opponent. Hoping to do better than I did last time. Last draft, I went 1-3, which was embarrassing. Now the question is, do I want to go ahead and drop Iron Shell Beetle and just get a 2-2 out of it, or wait until I drop the Centaur Peacemaker and then get a bigger creature out of it? Which, obviously, since I didn't play Iron Shell Beetle, you can guess what I did. Honorary Goblin is an annoyance. I mean, it's a great creature because it can, like, it could go up against my Centaur Peacemaker easy. It can also take out, like, Iron Shell Beetle before it even has a chance to block. Candlelight Vigil on it would also be very nice, but I don't want to put all of my eggs in one basket because they're playing blue. Capture Spear is a possibility, or a bounce spell. Let's see what they want to do, maybe. I'm not planning on blocking. I'll take the 2 and come back with 3, or in this case 4 off the Iron Shell Beetle. I can race, no issues. This is actually even better. I'm not planning on convoking a creature, but the Dev Guardian can block the Ornery Goblin all day long. Do they have a Syncopate or something? I wish they figure out what they're going to do. One of my pet peeves is people who play slow on Arena. There's no reason to play slow. There really isn't. Everything is pretty intuitive. So Sonic Assault. They're going to go ahead and tap down the creature and deal me 2. Big deal. That's kind of... I know they're trying to save themselves 3 damage, but I don't like the play. I just don't. Especially if I start going wide. Sonic Assault is a great card, but for somebody who goes wide, it's less useful. Okay, Radical Idea. Draw a card. So, we're going to go ahead and drop the Iron Shell Beetle. Target that. And I think we're going to go ahead and demote the Ornery Goblin and get some damage in. So we're going to swing in for 6, barring any combat tricks from my opponent. The Ornery Goblin is demoted to straight up attacking only. And 2 damage versus 7 at the moment is just not a good setup for them. No blocks. I'll take 2. Let's see if they're going to drop something in the second main phase. The Wishcoin Crab. Alright, so we'll start off with a Iron Shell Beetle. Centaur Peacemaker. It makes it bigger than the Wishcoin Crab. Or at least enough to be able to survive and kill the Wishcoin Crab. Flourish should be a fantastic way to finish out this game, except I need land number 6 first. Parhelion Patrol and Iron Shell Beetle would be a good mix, except that Wishcoin Crab renders Iron Shell Beetle as nothing but a blocker. Okay. They're going to attack phase, and they're choosing to do nothing. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Candlelight Vigil. Let's see if they're going to let me do it, if they're going to go ahead and Devious Cover Up or Sinister Sabotage. Hypothesisal. To kill the Ladev Guardian before. I'm going to go ahead and attack. They could double block, but then I can kill off the Wishcoin Crab. Or they could just go ahead and throw away the Wishcoin Crab. I was going to kill it. Oh, that's right. They can't block with the Ornery Goblin. Duh. Well, Hellkite Whelp. That's a bit of annoyance, because they can start pinging off my Iron Shell Beetles. So I may as well go ahead and double block the Ornery Goblin. They can kill one, and then the other one will take out the Ordinary Goblin. Oh. Or, that didn't work. That didn't work the way I wanted. That's alright, though. No big. Prey Upon is great, because I can prey upon their Hellkite Whelp. And kill it. Really? They're going to gain the 4 life again. Damn it. Meanwhile, I need land number 6. Yeah, if they attack with both creatures, I can't block the Ornery Goblin without losing. I couldn't block with the Ornery Goblin anyway without losing it. We're going to go ahead and go for the Vigor Spore Worm. Maybe. This is going to get Sonic Assaulted. I mean, there's no way in hell it doesn't. It's just going to take my opponent forever to decide how to do it. Because, apparently, reasons. So they're going to race me. Yeah, you want to ping that guy. Meanwhile, I'd really like to draw something useful. I said I'd really like to draw something useful, because that wasn't it. Fine, Disdainful Stroke could just drag the card out and play it. Alright, I'm going to combat. If you're going to cast Sonic Assault, do it or pass. This is your only chance. Thank you. That's gone now. No more Sonic Assaults for you. Now, if I can actually draw some of my removal, that would be nice. There. Trade there. Try and get some removal for dealing with Hellkite Whelp. We got Prey Upon, we got Conclave Tribunal, we've got 2 Luminous Bonds, 4 cards, and a 24 card deck that can do something. Instead, I'm going to draw some land. Of course I am. We'll check Bodyguard now, pretty much. I can't win no matter what I do. And this guy's taking forever, so I'm just going to concede before I even draw a card because I've had enough. Again, if you're going to play Arena, play at a reasonable pace. I do record these videos. If I catch people roping or slow playing, I will pass it on to Wizards. I'm just that much of an asshole. Well, it's a hand. Definitely not a foot. They're going to go ahead and go to 6. Salt. Hope that's not a case of I will make you salty. I just want to play some Magic, people. White-blue. Awesome. White-blue again. Let's go ahead and drop the Ironshell Beetle. Pump itself up. We can drop Glaive of the Guild Pack next turn. At some point, Venerated Loxodon, my creature. We are playing some sort of a... wow, drawing a complete... Bant, is that? I can get my Ironshell Beetle a 3/3, or I can... or a 3/1, or 3/2 rather. Or I can drop Venerated Loxodon next turn. And make that a 3/3 Ironshell Beetle. Wand of Vertebrae. I'm always confused when people play that card. Is it just to be able to shuffle stuff back into your deck? Of course, I could play Candlelight Vigil next turn as well. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and attack. Because I got the Conclave Cavalier, and that kind of completely changes things. Alrighty then. We are already roping. So 4/4 Vigilance seems good. I could make it a 5/4 Vigilance. Or I could go ahead and convoke that, both of them with the Venerated Loxodon. Maybe after combat. Interesting. 4 colors in that deck. I'm not sure how well that's going to work, but I'm definitely interested to see it. Hmm. Seven, 6 Vigilance. Seems good. Do they have a Surveil card? No, didn't think so. Good. Gets rid of Darkblade Agent before it can start doing something to me. Yeah, they're looking at my creature very much. Destroy target enchantment. Okay, that's not so bad. Alrighty, let's... No creatures in the graveyard. Let's go ahead and prey upon the Beam Splitter Mage. We're going to go ahead and attack with both of them, and then we'll convoke in the Venerated Loxodon after combat, which I can use to make the Conclave Cavalier bigger. It's going to be a 5/5. Vigor Spore Worm can come down any time now. Urban Utopia. Let's go let him draw a card. That gets him a red land, but they could tap their Utopias, Urban Utopias for red before. Okay, we're going to go ahead and drop this on the Venerated Loxodon. Oh, yeah, I guess I have lethal. Didn't even realize I had lethal. Sorry, Salt. Rank up to Bronze Tier 3. So hey, 1-1. And my vault is now available to open. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. Get my prize. Okay. About to say, where's the take away my stuff? But no, there it is. Alright, so 1-1. Just opened my vault, so I got some wild cards. I'm probably going to start saving wild cards. Guilds of Ravnica, or excuse me, Ravnica Legion comes out in a month. And I want to be able to hit wild cards, pick up some really good stuff like that Gruul Spellbreaker. Seems like it'd be really good in a red-green deck. Facing enough Settle the Wreckage type stuff to where I'd love to be able to slam that down, give it haste with the right ability, and then watch as their Settle the Wreckage is useless because I have Hexproof. This is interesting. I'm going to keep it. But it's definitely an interesting hand. Bury your bones. Doesn't bother me in the least. Tonight's session 2 and 4. I'm going to go ahead and drop that. Flower Flourish can come down next turn to let me fetch a land out of my deck. Silent Dart. Not what I wanted to see. Alright, let's Flower. Because getting another land out of my deck is good to avoid flooding out too badly, which is what it's looking like I'm going to do. Ironshell Beetle seems almost useless to drop at the moment because it can't get past the barrier of bones. Wary Okapi, 3/2 Vigilance. And since I drew another land, let's just go ahead and Luminous Bonds the Okapi. So, now up to 6 lands between my hand and in play. Child of the Night. Well, maybe I will need to drop the Ironshell Beetle. That gives me a way to block the Child of the Night. I could have Preyed Upon and just finish it off, but I'd like to keep Prey Upon for when I say get my Vigor Spore Worm into play. Luminous Pawns can go on the Veiled Shade. That's just too good. He didn't leave enough mana to be able to activate the Silent Dart. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and Luminous Pawns the Shade. They're down to 1 card in hand. I've still got 4. Next turn, I can drop the Vigor Spore Worm. Have a 6/4. See what happens. If If I demote the Barrier of Bones, that'd be funny because then they can't block with it and they won't be able to attack with it. So that may come in handy. Okran Assassin. Lovely. I don't want to fight the Okran Assassin. I don't want to block the Okran Assassin. Alright, so let me think how this is going to work. We're going to prey upon the Spinal Centipede. And they're going to put the counters on. Bury your bones, like I thought. Alright. God, I may not have much choice but to swing with the Vigor Spore Worm. Let's just get it over with. Because if not, they'll just attack with the Assassin and Vigor Spore Worm will be forced to block. I don't have a Convoke creatures I can slam down to tap out the Vigor Spore Worm. Come on, opponent. You're not going to activate the Silent Dart, so you might as well just go ahead and hit pass turn to move to the next step. I don't even know what you're doing, what you're waiting for. You seriously going to rope out? Or do they lose connection or something? So there's the first time out. Jet 40190. Bronze tier 1 ranked. No, bronze tier 2 from looks of their symbol. Parhelion Patrol can die to Silent Dart. That kind of sucks for me. So Vigor Spore Worm hits the board. They'll block with Assassin, as expected. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Patrol. If all that happens is Silent Dart comes out, then no worries. Because he gets it off the board. Likely to see a pass. Well, they got something they could do. They're just not doing it. So Hitchclaw Recluse, 1/4 with reach. Iron Shell Beetle make it 2/5 with reach. Which is just as big as any Wish Coin Crab. And there's a Pitiless Gorgon to make things really annoying. Alright. Let's go ahead and attack with the Hitchclaw. Get rid of the Gorgon. Siege Claw in off the Convoke. And I've got the Death Touch creature off the board. That gives me a 5/5 trample. Long game. Both players slugging back and forth, trying to get something to stick. Uh-oh. Better not have enchantment removal. What is this? Undercity. No, Severed Strands. Lovely. It's a good play. Can't argue. Alright, start swinging in for one. Seven lands in play, 8 in the deck, 22 cards. Oh, really? Now I get to take 5, have a big giant on the board, and no way to deal with it. Iron Shell Beetle can block for a turn. Until I can draw a better answer. They're drawing better than me, which is the problem. This is when I'll start drawing all 8 of my lands in a row. Great. Prey Upon is useless at this point. I would need something large to be able to prey upon. What are we waiting for? You can activate the Veiled Shade, yes, but you're not going to, so just pass turn. Pay attention to this screen, not whatever screen you're looking at, or your phone, or Netflix, or whatever. Yeah, this part of the video may get specifically copied out into a separate file. Because this kind of... I've been very good about not having to deal with many ropers, but this is ridiculous. Amazingly, just when they're about to use their last time out, all of a sudden they're there at their computer playing. Astounding. Go ahead and block the Gorgon. If I can get my Conclave Tribunal by some miracle, I can deal with the Giant. Get back into this game. If I can draw the Vigor Spore Worm, I can get back into this game. By simply dropping the worm and preying upon the Giant. But I got one turn to do it. Now, if I were a real butthead, I would go ahead and wait and use all 4 timeout to do it. This gives me a turn and 4 life. Erstwhile Trooper. Wish I could prey upon that Erstwhile Trooper real quick. But... you know what? No, I'll go to 1. I can prey upon the Trooper and block next turn. And hope they don't draw a kill spell in the process. Oh my god, I'm back in the game with 1 life. Hope they don't have any enchantment removal. So I'm at 1 life. I can't afford to take any more damage at all. So I'm just going to go for it. I mean, I got to attack. If they draw some kind of a disenchant ability, they can attack with their Veiled Shade and win. But what am I supposed to do? Sit back and wait? Oh, that's bad. If they surveil from here on out, they win. Worse yet. Well, this gives me vigilance, actually. That's not a bad deal, because it means I can block. Alright, so Vigilance Menace, 5/3. And they draw Hitchclaw Recluse. That's bad, because now they have 2 creatures. I draw Candlelight Vigil, which does not exactly give me a way to do this. I'm going to go ahead and swing. Worst happens. They make a mistake and don't attack. Don't think that's going to happen. Okay. Urban Utopia. Land. And they paid attention. Alright. So they're going to take this game. Drew the Conclave Tribunal too late. Apparently, I just can't draft for shit anymore. 2 losses, 1 and 2. Let's see if I can go 1 and 3. Maybe I should do some standard after this is done. I can play mono red and try and whoop up on people with that. Ugh. I just know I'm not going to draw the forest. But they went to 6, they went to 5, maybe I have a chance. They scried to the bottom. Good for me, bad for them. Hired Poisoner right off the bat. Son of a gun. And no lands. Alright, this could be bad for me. Guild Mage's Forum. Alright, 1 damage isn't bad. 1 damage. Up. There we go, a land. We'll go ahead and drop the Iron Shell Beetle. We can block with it, take out the Poisoner. Put a creature in the graveyard. If I get another forest, Conclave Cavalier can come down. So maybe I'll get lucky and I'll draw the forest, or I'll draw a Flower Flourish. Which still, neither of them will let me actually play anything. You know what? Let's attack. Whisper Agent. Alright. Gonna block with Poisoner, that's fine. Second main phase. I don't need to be taking 3 a turn while I look for land. God, my opponent goes to 5 and they still win this. I'm going to be irritated. Oh, sorry. Thought I had more water in my drink than that. Creeping Chill. That's an interesting card to draft. Well, I can hardcast Venerated Loxodon. That's something. 1 more and I can drop Vigor Spore Worm. 2 more I can drop Siege Worm. Really? Really? Prey Upon. Get rid of the removal. This is a whole handful of crap my opponent has. I mean, seriously. Who the hell actually plays Vicious Rumors or Creeping Chill in Sealed? Child of Night, huh? Well, Glaive the Guild Pact it is. Let's give it Vigilance and Menace. Not like I'm drawing land anyway. Really? Opponent with all the Dazzling Lights. Surveils could be nice for letting them smooth out draws. Alright, fine. Well, let's prey upon the Child of Night. Yep, you gain 2. I run the risk, basically running into a Whisper Agent, but take the risk. Can't sit here twiddling my thumbs all game. Eventually they're going to start drawing into stuff they can use. Eventually I might too. All creatures get my... Oh, he wants to surveil. Groovy. Well, Vigor Spore Worm. Next turn we can drop the Siege Worm. 11 points of damage on the board. Whisper Agent is not big enough to kill anything. I can demote it if necessary. There's a Selesnya Guildgate. Oh, I couldn't convoke it because I didn't have a second green source for the Siege Worm. Duh. Alright, I can demote whatever blocker comes down and win. Apparently it didn't draw a blocker. Alright. So 2 and 2. That's a start. I think a lot of my problems when I'm drafting Guilds of Ravnica because I'm drafting cards I like, but they're not necessarily the best cards. Three and 5 for the session. I mean, that's really not that bad. All things considered, it could be a lot worse. Oh, really, game? I haven't taken a mulligan yet. I really don't want to. I am on the draw. I'm going to keep it. Worst comes to worst. First 2, I can play 2 plains and glaive while I look for my forest. They're taking 6 and scrying to the top. Playing an island. Ah, there's my forest, so it paid off. Bad magic paid off for once. Really, game? You think I needed 3 of the Iron Shell Beetles? I guess I can try and get Ledev Guardian down and then just pump the hell out of it. Triple Island. Alright, let's go ahead and drop 1 beetle because I'll need it to convoke in the Ledev Guardian if I don't get a land next turn. If I can get a forest, Conclave Cavalier would be nice. Centaur Peacemaker's even nicer. Their mana screwed, apparently, or color screwed, one of the two. Both, I don't know. Alright, 4 islands gives them devious cover-up territory. Also gives them Capture Spear. I foresee a Capture Spear considering they were examining my creatures very heavily. So let's see if they're going to cast something. Yep, there it is. Alright. Keep the pressure up. 2-4 and a 2-2. There's a Muse Drake. There is the mountain they've no doubt been looking for. We're going to beetle up these 2 creatures because then my opponent MKR0 can't block with the Muse Drake without losing the Muse Drake. If I draw another land, Vigorspore Worm can come down, even though it won't pump anything. Conclave Cavalier can always come down, and I have the Glaive of the Guild Pact as well. I could go ahead and give one of the Iron Shell Beetles Menace, and then it's a 2-1 Menace. Hellkite Whelp. Not my idea of fun. Let's go ahead and attack with these 2 and see if they want to trade the Hellkite with the Iron Shell. Worst comes to worst, Conclave Cavalier can come down. Interesting. Alright. Hellkite Whelp is not going to be very effective as an attacker at the moment. Yes, they can take out the Iron Shell Beetles, but they aren't a threat. And MKR really needs a blocker. They're at 11 life. I have technically 12 points of damage on the board. Okay. And they're actually going to attack. And I've got the Glaive of the Guild Pact as well, which is... They must be going to cast something second main, is all I can figure. I still have 11 points of damage on the board. They're at 11 life. Six mana. That's possibly what? Is that Blaze, uncounterable Blaze spell that deals 6 damage to a target? I don't know. But I gotta use the restroom, so I wish they'd figure it out. And they're going to bounce the Dev Guardian and the Conclave Cavalier. Interesting. Alright. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to prey upon there and get rid of that creature. Because I about had it. Means I won't be able to drop the Cavalier or the Vigor Spore Worm at this point. That doesn't work that way. You don't get first strike when fighting, folks. Two creatures in the graveyard. I can give a pump of 2. And there's another Hellkite Whelp. Very annoying. Dev Guardian's getting the nod here. All right, send me in, coach. Got another first strike. Yep, there's the sure strike. Son of a gun. But the one advantage of that is it gets it out of their hand. You know what? I just realized I've got a bit of a wombo combo here. Vigorous Boreworm can't be blocked by more than one creature. Glaive of the Guild Pact gives it menace. Since it can only be blocked by 2 or more creatures, but it can't be blocked by 2 or more creatures, it becomes completely unblockable with that on. Looking at my Vigorous Boreworm. I don't like it when people examine my creatures that closely. It means they're up to no good. Okay. I'm going to give it a 5/3 Hellkite Whelp. That's fine. I'll take out the 1/1, which again is fine. I go to 16. They're at 10. I draw my prey upon. Can't block it. Go to 3. Excuse me. I keep forgetting that I don't have enough water in there, so it's bubbling. I'll refill it after this game. Oh, my lovely wife is going to do it for me. She didn't have to, but I appreciate it. All right, well, I'm actually up to 3-3. And I'll be bronze tier 2. All right. Take a quick break, like no more than a minute. I'll be right back. Alright, apologize for that. I am back. Alright, so 3 wins, 300 gems in 1 pack. I really want to reach the 6-win mark. I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see. I mean, going 3-3 is better than I've done lately. Ah, nice, refreshing drink. So you? Not sure, but whoever you are, welcome. Hi. I'm gonna go ahead and flower. Go for that double green. Vernati Shieldmate, turn 3 Iron Shell Beetle. Turn 4 Venerated Loxodon. Seems good. Glowspore Shaman. Let's see. Golgari Raiders, Mephitic Vapors, hit the bin. Luminous Bonds is a possibility, but I just hate to Luminous Bonds a Glowspore Shaman. District Guide is alright. Of course, I could demote the Glowspore Shaman. Keep it from blocking. I could Luminous Bonds the Rhizome Lurcher. You know what? Screw it. No guts, no glory, alright? If they double block one of the 4/4s, they lose both their creatures. If they don't double block, they can't kill the 4/4s. Otherwise, I swing in for 10 damage if there's no blocks at all. Alright. I'm going to double block the Loxodon, which I would have double blocked the Vigilance creature, but that's me. And there they go. Okay. Much better. Damage order doesn't matter because they're both going to take lethal. Iron Shell Beetle could drop down on the Venerated Loxodon, make it a 5/5. But they're at 4 mana. At 5, they get Deadly Visit. It's one of those situations where you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Might be better to Iron Shell Beetle the other Iron Shell Beetle, have a 4/4 and a 3/3. Find, returning the Glowspore Shaman and the Golgari Raiders to their hand. The Glowspore Shaman can come down. I could demote it, though. There's a Price of Fame gone. I'm going to go ahead and get the damage in there, you know? Put him to 7. Another land that Glaive the Gilpack can come down and be equipped. 1, 2. 2 creatures in the grave. Ah! Affectionate Indrik. And it's going to kill off the Iron Shell Beetle. Really? Really? Alright. We're going to still get damage in then. Give this creature vigilance and menace. Down to 3. Now I need a removal spell. Because Golgari Raiders could come down to 2/2, and that stops me because the menace then is not effective. Glowspore Shaman. Yeah, I'll go ahead and block with the Iron Shell Beetle. You want your Golgari Raiders to come down as a 3/3 instead? Hatchery Spider. Well, crap. They whiffed on the effect at least. Oh, and top deck Luminous Bonds for the game. Well, that was luck to get me to 4 and 3. Guess I can't complain about my luck always being bad. ICR is a district guide. 4 and 3 puts me into respectable territory if I lose this. Currently 4 and 2. Coming up on 1 hour 44 minutes. Wow, didn't realize I've been streaming that long. It's gonna be a big video. First draft took 40 minutes, so I figured, oh, certainly the second draft won't take that long either. Seed Hunter. This is a playable hand, I think. I mean, I don't have a lot of weak early creatures, but I've got Flower Flourish. I can lead off with the Gilgate. Okay, this means I can flower for a forest. Now lets me cast the Cavalier. Karin Dissident. I got time to drop the Cavalier. Or to get the forest, rather. If I draw a forest, it may not even be necessary for me to worry about it. Generous Stray comes down. 1/2 doesn't bother me. Alright, we're going to go ahead and guarantee myself the forest. Oh my lord. There we are. Siege Worm would also be nice to get down into play. Another Generous Stray. Alright, so Forest, Conclave, Cavalier. Next turn I could actually drop the Venerated Loxodon. Spinal Centipede. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and fight the Centipede and get it out of the way. I'm not going to attack with the Cavalier this turn. They can go ahead and put the counter on the Dissident. It's a 3/3 that can get bonded as needed. And they're going to go ahead and concede. I've got Siege Worm coming down next turn, so that was going to work out for me. Move to Bronze Tier 1. It also puts me at, amazingly enough, 5 and 2. So 1 win, I hit the quote-unquote break-even point. I spent the 5,000 gold, so it basically would get me enough gems to be able to do another draft without having to pay money. Which, if you can make enough gold and do well enough to make gems, I actually have not purchased gems in a month and a half. I've been coasting off of gold and my gem wins. My record for this evening is actually up to 6 and 5. Total record with the tracker on 297 to 270, a little above 50% winning rate, which is going to be your average winning rate. I didn't say I was a pro. Tap, tap, taparoo. I like that name. Yeah. Even if I'm going first, I suspect I have 2 turns to draw a land, and I think I will. And now let me get down the Hitchcock Recluse as necessary, or I'll probably actually drop the Selesnya Locket. If I can get land number 3. If I can't, I will sit here and grouse and grumble about lack of land. Well, Vernati Shieldmate's at least going to do something. Deadweight took out my Iron Shell Beetle, no big deal. But my opponent's going to look at me and go, oh, they're stuck at 2. And we're going to get ahead. Which means I really can't afford to be behind for too long. Generous Stray. Alright. Lock it. Pop it and lock it. Lock it, pop it, whichever. I was never hip during the 90s. Actually, I've just never been hip, period. So worst comes to worst, Venerated Loxodon can come down next turn and pump up my Shieldmate. They decided they don't like my Shieldmate, they're going to Severed Strands it. Seems rude to me. Yeah, I know, I'm casting the Venerated Loxodon. I want to get some damage in. I want to get things going here. Alright, you know what? Demote it. I don't want you blocking me. I'm actually going to hold back on Flower Flourish because I would love to get Siege Worm down and then give all my creatures +2/+2. See, I'm not a big fan of Generous Stray. I'm just not. I don't think it's good enough. Boom. So I actually have enough to flourish next turn, depending on what they have in play. Siege Worm is the only trampler among them, though. Ah. Well, I can always trade Siege Worm for Pitiless Gorgon. I'm going to go ahead and do it. They'll block somewhere and take out the Siege Worm. Yep, that's what I figured. Then I can Vigor Spore Worm next turn. There's no point in sitting back and letting a Gorgon stop me from getting damage in. There just isn't. I now actually have 3 creatures in the graveyard because of that. This will give Vigilance as well. Crawl Swarm. Yeah, we'll give the Loxodon. I want to save the Loxodon. I'll make it 7/7. I will attack with the Recluse as well. Because I can kill off the Swarm with the Recluse. That'll put them to 1. If they do that. Vigor Spore Worm can only be blocked by 1 creature. So I've got 2 attackers. They have no blockers. They need 2 blockers in play to stop me. Otherwise, I go to 6/2. Tap, tap, taparoo, considering their options. Deadly Visit. That's going to kill off the Vigor Spore Worm. Leave them with just 2 mana open. They're going to Surveil. Ooh, Bounty of Might goes to the graveyard. Were you hoping I would block? Oh. Kind of stressing that attack in case they had an instant. But they played it all the way out. I gotta give props to my opponent. Claim the prize, which is a Stitcher supplier. Meh. Alright, so 6 and 2. I'm at the break even. I'm actually ahead now. Because it would normally cost 750 gems to play. I'm going to get 850 no matter what. If I get one more win, I guaranteed 2 packs and 950 gems. So, win or lose. Either I'm going to go 6 and 3 or 7 and 2. I don't think I've drafted Selesnya on Guild Ravnica in a while, so maybe I ought to do it more often. A Phoric 221. They're ranked silver. Yeah, I'm going to have to take them all. I can't keep that hand. And a Scry to the bottom. It does not bode well for me if I draw land a lot. I'm already on the mulligan. I will go ahead and hang on to that. I might be able to drop Hitchclaw Recluse, then Beetle it. Veiled Shade. Ugh. Let's see. They could make it up to a 4/4 if they get another land. No blocks. Because if they go ahead and do it, then they use up all their mana, but that Bartizan Pass is going to be a pain, though. It's looking increasingly this game, barring, some really good draws, I was going to say. I think I'm going to lose this game and go 6 and 3. And I could have played a land and I didn't. Son of a gun. I know better than this. I'm getting sloppy. Getting very sloppy here. Spinal Centipede. Ugh. Screw it. I know I'm just making things worse by blocking the Spinal Centipede. But if they stack everything on one and I can actually draw some removal, it'll come in handy to have. Man. Come on, game. Well, I can block the Veiled Shade. And they're not going to attack with that. Mister's Insight, draw 2. Their hand was really great. My hand was really bad. And a Guildgate. And I'm just calling it. 6 and 3. Can't argue. Would have liked to get the extra pack. Would have liked to go all the way. Up 2 packs. Bonus check. 40% chance of the bonus pack, and I got it. Bonus. Mission briefing. Uncommon wildcard's nice. Even if I already have my playset of mission briefing. And Tajik, I already have. But it did trigger the gold wildcard for me, so what have I got? 12 common, 5 uncommon, 3 rare, 1 mythic rare. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and call it for tonight. 7 wins, 6 losses total. I think I did alright. So this video will go up on my YouTube channel after the stream. You can search for ExParrot 42, one word, to find me. I do stream weekly, guaranteed weekly, Friday nights, 7:30 Central. Um, I may look at doing a second night guaranteed, but right now I don't know that I have time in the schedule to do it. I record occasional videos for Morrowind, Elder Scrolls 3. I'm going to look at branching out to some other games eventually. Now those will go up on my YouTube channel. Maybe I'll start streaming some other stuff. I don't know. You're welcome to tune in. I appreciate you watching this if you're watching on the stream or if you're watching on YouTube later. This is ExParrot 42, and since it's getting late, I'm signing off. So, thank you very much.